स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नो स्थारिक्षो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। लं नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं मृतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वमाम् अवक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवधातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुजानोमशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अवाचोतरातात् अवाधक्नातात् अवाचोढ्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मय त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममय त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयो वसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वतश्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयलयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः देहत्रयातीत त्वं कालत्रयातीत त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकां त्वं योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वम् ॐ रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मा भूर्भुवस्वरो गणाधिं पूर्वमुच्चार्यं वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतरः अरदेन्दुतुलसितं तारेण रुद्धं मे तत्तव मनुष्यरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपं मरुस्वार्यश्चान्त्यरूपं विन्धुरुतररूपं नादः सन्धानां संहिता सन्धिः श्रीशैषा गणेशविद्यां गणकऋषि निचिद्गायत्री छन्दः श्रीमहागणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमं कुशधारणम् अभयं वरदं हस्ते बिभ्राणामूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तावाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकाम्पिनं देहं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूचं च शिष्टारो प्रकृतिपुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायन्ति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिना वर। नमो व्रातपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्तेऽस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्नविनाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। कदलीगर्भादिसम्भूतं कर्पूरां च प्रदीपितम् आरातिक्यमहं कुर्वे पश्य मे वरदो भवम्। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। कर्पूरनिराजनं ज्योति ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। ओम विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लंबोदराय सकलाय जगद्दिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञविभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते। हेहि हेरम्ब महेशपुत्र समस्त विघ्नोघविनाशधक्षा मांगल्यपूजा प्रथम प्रधानम ग्रहण पूजा भगवन् नमस्ते। बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। ओम कलशस्या मुखे विष्णु कंधे रुद्रा समासिताः मूले तस्या स्थिते ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणस्मृताः खूक्षौतु सागरा सर्वसप्तदीपवसुन्धरा ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेदो सामवेदो यथर्वणा अंगैश्च सहिता सर्वे कलशं तु समाश्रिताः। ओम श्री कलशवरुणाय नमः। गंधं धारयामि नमः। ओम अक्षतां सतुभ्यं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम पुष्पं चतुभ्यं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम वं वरुणाय नमः। ओम वं प्रचेतसे नमः। ओम वं स्वरूपिणे नमः। ॐ वं अपां पतये नमः। ॐ वं जलाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वं पाशहस्ताय नमः। ॐ वं तीर्थराजाय नमः। ॐ वं कर्मणिभूषणाय नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। पुष्पं समर्पयामि। अगरबत्ती। वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गन्धाढ्यो गन्ध उत्तमाम् आग्रह सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृहतां धूपदीपनिवारणाय नमः। नमो मकरवाहनाय पाशहस्ताय वे नमः। नमो प्रचेतसेनाय वं वरुणाय नमो नमः। हिरण्यसिंहं वरुणं प्रबध्यं तीर्थं मे देहि याचित यन्मया भूक्तं साधूनां पापे भयश्च प्रतिग्रह यन्मे मनसा वाचा कर्मणा वा दुष्कृतं कृतं तन्ना इन्द्रो वरुणो बृहस्पति सविता च पुनन्तु पुनः पुनम्। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। द्रव्यदक्षिणां चतुभ्यं समर्पयामि। नमः। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तथाग्रे भूतस्य जाता पतिरेक आसीत् सदाधारपृतविन्ध्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेमं। द्रव्यदक्षिणां चतुभ्यं। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। ॐ नमो मकरवाहनाय पाशहस्ताय वे नमः। नमो प्रचेतसेनाय वं वरुणाय नमः। तीर्थराजाय नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। ॐ देवदानवसंवादे मत्यमानो महोदधौ उत्पन्नौ सतदा कुम्भो विद्युतो विष्णुना स्वयं त्वतो ये सर्वतीर्थानि देवा सर्वे त्वयि तितां त्वयि तिष्ठन्ति भूतानि त्वयि प्राणापतिष्ठता शिवस्वयं त्वमेवासि विष्णुस्त्वं च प्रजापतिम् आदित्या वसवो रुद्रा विश्वे देवा सपैतृकं सान्निध्यं कुरु मे देवा प्रसन्नो भव सर्वदा। ॐ श्री वं वरुणाय नमः। हिरण्यसिंहं वरुणं प्रबध्यं तीर्थं मे देहि याचिता यन्मया भुक्तं साधूनां पापे भयश्च प्रतिग्रह यन्मे मनसा वाचा कर्मणा वा दुष्कृतं कृतं तन्ना इन्द्रो वरुणो बृहस्पति सविता च पुनन्तु पुनः पुनः। बोले वरुण भगवान की जय। We go to Lord Ram a little bit. Om Shri Ram. Om बोले सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्री राम राम रनकर्कश राम राम श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम। श्री रामचंद्र चरणों मनसा स्मरामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणों वचसा गृह्णामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणों शिरसा नमामि श्री रामचंद्र चरणों शरणं प्रपद्ये। लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। नीलम्भुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारूपितो वामभागं पानो महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नव नील नीरज सुंदरम पत पीत मानहु तरित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम रघुनन्दयानन्द कंद कौशल छंद दशरथ नंदनम सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदारु अंग विभूषणम आजानुभुज सर चाप धर संग्राम जित कर दूषणम इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि खल दल गंजनम श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। फ्रूट नैवेदयामी नमः प्रसाद प्रसाद नैवेदयामी नमः। नैवेद्यं घृतं देहि शर्करागतसंयुक्तं मधुरं स्वाधुचूतमम् उपहारासमायुक्तं नैवेद्यं प्रतिगृहतां प्राणाय स्वाहा अपानाय स्वाहा व्यानाय स्वाहा उदानाय स्वाहा समानाय स्वाहा नैवेदयो नैवेदयामि नमः। For the whole thali. नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि नमः। It's okay. I put them back just now. नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि आचमनीयं समर्पयामि द्रव्यदक्षिणां जतुभ्यं हिरण्यगर्भगर्भस्थं हेमबीजं विभावसो अनन्तपुण्याफलदा मता शान्तिं प्रयक्ष मे। बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। अच्छा बोले श्री गणपति भगवान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय। बोले श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओम शिवतनय वरिष्ठं सर्वकल्याणमूर्तिं परशुकमलहस्तं शोभितं मोदकेन अरुणकुसुममाला व्याललम्बोदरं तं मम हृदयनिवासं श्रीगणेशं नमामि। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। वन्दे देवमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरां वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहननयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं वंशी विभूषितकराणनवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलधरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखारविन्द्रनेत्रा कृष्णात् पदं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। सशङ्खचक्रं सकिरीटकुण्डलं सपीतवस्त्रं सरुसेरुहेक्षणं सहारवक्षस्थलकौस्तुभं श्रियं नमामि विष्णुं शिरसा चतुर्भुजम् अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलापदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनां मृगगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीगुरुचरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार बरनो रघुवर बिमल जसु जोदायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मुहि हरहु कलेश विकार। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी है। राम जी से राम राम कहियो कहियो जी हनुमान जी। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिन्हु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ भद्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साज। शंकर सुमन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के कार सवारे। हो लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिया भरत संभाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो यश गावे, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहीशा। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिलि मुख माही, जल दिलांग गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे, सब सकल है तुम्हारी शरणा। तुम रक्षक काहू को आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे। तीनों लोक हाकते कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे। तासु अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा। है प्रसिद्धि जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता। असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे। जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाहि। जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्त न धरहि। हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा। जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाहि। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख हो। जो यह पर हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा। पावन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय में बसहूँ सुरभूप। सिया भज रामचंद्र की, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। लोकाभिरामं रणरंगधीरं, राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं। कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं, श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम सिया राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम बोलो जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय ओ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम बोलो जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम हो जय राम ओ जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। कह लंकेश कवन तय की साके ही के बल। So this is on page 64. Those of you who have the book, you can follow me. This is middle of the book we're starting, middle of the page rather, on page 64. कह लंकेश कवन तय के सा केहि के बल धाले ही बन की सा की धो श्रवण सुनेहु नहीं मोहि देखहु अति असंख्य सत तोहि मारे निश्चर के ही अपराधा कहु सत तोहि न प्राण कई बाधा सुनो रावण ब्रह्मांड निकाया पाई जास बल विरचति माया जाके बल विरंचि हरि सा पालत सृजत हरत दस शीस जाओ बल शीस धरत सहसानंद अंध कोस समित गिरिकानंद श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओ धर ही जो विविध देह सुर त्राता तुमसे सथन सिखावनु दाता हर को धंध कठिन जेहि भंजा जेहि समेत नृप दल मद गंजा खर दूषण त्रिशिरा रुबाली बधे सकल अतुलित बसला हो जाके बल लवलेस ते जिते ही चराचर झारी ओ रामा जिते ही चराचर झारी तासु दूत में जा करी हरियाने हो प्रिय नारी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय अयोध्या रामचंद्र की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय काशीपति विश्वनाथ की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बजरंगबली भगवान की। Last night when we left off, Ravan, they thought they caught Hanumanji Maharaj. They thought they caught him. So what happened? Meghnad Hanuman ko pakra. And so what happened? They thought they caught him, but Hanumanji allowed himself to be caught. Nobody can catch him. Who can catch Hanumanji? But he wanted himself to be caught. Because you think about this. When they caught him, they tie him up with a rope, right? He's so big and strong. He could have done a lot of things. He could have just burst the rope open because he's Bajrangbali. Or he could have made himself so small as a fly and just fly out of the knot and then went away. No, he didn't do that. He wanted to meet. He wanted to face. One-on-one, he wanted to see who in this world will oppose Ram Bhagwan. Komal Chita Atadina Dayala. The one who is Komal, so gentle. He's Dina Dayala, friend of everyone. Who in this world will dare oppose Ram? Who will steal something from Bhagwan Ram? Hanumanji wanted to see that. He couldn't believe because he loves the Lord, Bhagwan Ram. He has given his life to serve him selflessly. So who dare would dislike or would hate the Lord so much so that they will steal Mother Sita from him? Who would do that? Well, this is his chance. He met Ravana. Everyone was trembling when Hanumanji was walking in, but his hands were tied and everybody else was trembling. You know, fear, you don't have to literally be bound in order to be frightened. When you see fear, you know it by yourself. They remember how he was taking out the trees and beating all the Rakshas. Last night I told you, Hanumanji, he grew so big that the hair on his body, when he grew, his hair become like forest. And he put them on his body like this, they were lost. He, grind them like this, like aloo, like you're peeling aloo. Their skin came out. That is why Bhuta Pisach Nikata Nahi Ave Mahabir Jabanama Sunave. Up to this day, when any demon or anyone, the spirit and whatever it is, hears the name of Hanumanji, Nahi Ave Mahabir Jabanama Sunave. When they hear the name of Hanuman, he will never come to you. So Ravan now meets him. Now he's in front of Ravan. Ravan asks him 5 questions. Kahalankes kavanate kisa kehi ke bal dhale hi ban khisa. I want you to note something. You know this, I think. Hanumanji was asked 5 questions in this order. Number 1, who are you, O monkey? And by whose might have you wrought the destruction of the grove? That's like 1. Who are you and by whose might have you destroyed the grove, my entire grove? Hanumanji just wrecked it. Secondly, who are you first and whose might, by whose might? Because Ravan think that this monkey can't do that. He got to possess some power. Number 3, what? Did you not hear of my name? Have you not heard about Ravana, the mighty one who lifted Kailash? Have you not heard about Ravana who took his intestines and offered it as an instrument to Shiv? Have you not heard of Ravana, the greatest disciple of Mahadev? Number 4, for what offense did you kill the demons? Why did you do that? Tell me, fool, are you not afraid of losing your life? He's talking to Hanumanji Maharaj. Are you not afraid of losing your life? And so Hanumanji, if he's asked a question, he's going to respond. But listen to the intelligence in which he responded. Right? Nowadays, if you ask a question, you'll be lucky if you get an answer. Because people, as you know, they beat around the bush. They beat around the bush, as we would say. Hanumanji, he doesn't beat around the bush. He beat the demons. What happens? What happens here? Jake balaviranchi hari Isa. Listen, Ravan. Recall by him whose might Maya, you have asked me, who are you? I'm going to answer the first question. Who am I? Listen, Ravan, recall him by whose might Maya creates innumerable universes. By whose might, O Dashanan, O ten-headed, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva carry out their respective function of creation. It is by those might the thousand-headed Sheshnag support his head on the entire universe with the mountains and the forests. One who assumes various forms in order to protect the gods and to teach a lesson to people like you, Ravan, who broke Shiva's unbreakable bow and who crushed it with the pride of host, gathering, of kings, who dispatched Kardhushan, Trishara, and Bali, all unequaled in strength, Ravan, by an iota of whose might you were able to conquer the same creation, both animate and inanimate, and whose beloved spouse has been abducted by you, Ravan. Know me to be his disciple. Know me to be his disciple. What is this? Somebody asks you who you are today. You'll just tell your name and your accumulations and your education and who family you're from. Hanumanji did not say that. Hanumanji could have said, I'm the mighty Hanuman who flew over the Indian Ocean and came to you. I'm the mighty Hanuman who broke the bones of all the demons. No. Hanumanji says, I am the servant of the one who is the cause of creation. I am the servant of the one, Ravan, by whose might you were able to conquer this world as well. This is the response of a bhakta. Yeah. You ask me, have I not heard about you? Oh yeah, I've heard about you. Jane mein tumhari prabhutai, sahasrabahu san paralai. You had an encounter with Sahasrabahu and you won distinction. I've heard about you, O Ravan. I have heard about you. You asked me why I ate the fruit, why I beat up your demons. I ate the fruit because I felt hungry. I broke the bows as a monkey would want to do. One's body, master, is supremely dear to all. Yet those wicked fellows, they started hitting me. So you ask me why I beat them? They started to hit me and I hit them back. He answers, I had no course left but to return blows to them. He answered the questions exactly in order that Ravan asked those questions. Amazing. Hanumanji does the unthinkable now. You will, in page 79 of Sundar Kaand, of this version that we have, Hanumanji does the unthinkable. What does he do on top? Binati karavo jori kar Ravan, sun human tmajing mor sikhavan, dekhi tum nij कुलहि बिचारे भ्रम तजु भजहि भगत भयहारी जाके दर अति काल डेराई जो सुर असुर चराचर खाई तासो बयरु कबहु नहीं कीजे मोर कहे जानकी दीजे. He does the unthinkable. The unthinkable, what does he do? Binati karai, a devotee. When does a devotee clasp their hands? When they stand in front of their Prabhu. When they stand in front of their Prabhu, they submit their hands. Prabhu, these mighty hands that have built the world, families, communities, people, that have lifted people up, that have pulled the people up and elevated them in life, these hands that have fed the hungry, these hands that have given charity, these hands that have done seva, Prabhu, they are nothing compared to your greatness. I submit them to you. A devotee stands in front of God, they submit themselves. A devotee stands in front of another human being, they clasp their hands and they submit themselves. But when Hanumanji now sees Ravan, what does he do? He clasps his hands. Binati karau jori kar Ravan. Page 69 on top. No? Hanumanji begs Ravan. He clasps his hands in front of Ravan. He does the unthinkable. Yes, this is the humility of Hanumanji Maharaj. I implore you with folded hands, O Ravan, give up your haughtiness and listen to my advice. I'm reading line by line. Think of your lineage. You know who lineage Ravan come from? He came from the lineage of Pulastya Muni. Pulastya, when you hear those names, you think of great saints and devotees. You and I must think of our lineage. Some of our young people these days don't know what lineage is. And the grown ones too, they don't know what lineage is. You know what lineage is? Lineage is the line of people you have come from. I always told you, before I even do something, I think about what my father and mother would think about that decision. And they died 19 years ago. Right? I have to think about my Nana and my Aja and my Nana and my Nani and my Aji. What would they think? I have to think about my departed ones. I have to think about the ones who are alive. What would they think if I do something? You have to think about the lineage. It is important that you do that. Ravan, think about your lineage. Think about things in that perspective. And so what did he pray for? And he told him a lot of things, my friend, trying to bring him back. Lord Sri Ram, the slayer of Khara, Khara and Dushan, is the protector of the suppliant and an ocean of compassion. Na? Pranatapala Raghunatha Karuna Sindhu Kharari, page 70 on top. Gaye Saran Prabhura Keyu Tab Aparad Visari. Who is Ram Bhagwan? He is the protector of the suppliant and an ocean of compassion, not a teaspoon. He's an ocean. If you turn to him for protection, he will protect you. And please repeat after me, or please repeat with me. Jo Chaupai Ram Charan Pankaj Urdharahu. This is so beautiful. Ram Charan Pankaj Urdharahu Lanka Achal Raj Tum Karahu. Rishi Pulasti Jasu Vimal Bayanka Tehi Sasi Mahu Jani Hohu Kalanka. Hohu Kalanka. Install the image of Ram's lotus feet in your heart. The first thing we do in prayer is called dhyanam. Means to install the image. Think to install the image in your heart. Only when it is installed in your heart, then you can install a life into that image standing in front of you. Hanumanji Maharaj says, Ravan, install the image of Ram in your heart and enjoy the unchallenged sovereignty of Lanka. You will not be challenged. He will bless you. He will give you rulership over Lanka. But give up. Give up. Think about your grandfather. I talked about this Pulasti just now. No? And he continued this, my friends. And when he continued to tell Hanumanji this, my friends, Ravan says, Mrityu nikat aaye khal tohi lagesu adham sikhavan mohi. Are? Page 73, the middle part. Ravan says, Sikhareo mohi. Are mrityu nikat aaye khal tohi. Mrityu nikat, mrityu means death. Your dying time, your death time has come, monkey. You are lecturing me about dharma. Huh? You've started extorting me. You're wicked. I think that's what he says. Mativrata tor pragatame jana. I think you are mentally disturbed, Hanuman, oh monkey. I think you're mentally disturbed. Ravan tells Hanumanji, Jai Hanuman Gyan Guna Sagar, Jai Kapistin Loka Ujagar. The storehouse of knowledge and bliss is distorted or is mentally disturbed. No. Well, this is the reaction. So what did he do? Kapike Mamata Puchapar. They said, well, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill this monkey. Ravan want to kill him. Vibhishan run in. Vibhishan says, Lord, you cannot kill the messenger. That's a saying these days, right? Don't don't blame the messenger. But you got to be careful, because when you're carrying a message, that's a risk you're taking. You will either be punished for it or you'll be rewarded for it. But that's a risk you're taking. He was going to kill Hanuman, or so-called wanting to kill the unkillable. And what happened? Vibhishan ran in and said, no, you can't kill him. And Ravana laughed and so said, okay, we're going to mutilate him. We're going to mutilate him. What? Kapike mamata pooch par. Page 75, the doha in the middle. Kapike mamata. Mamata means he's very fond of. The monkey is very fond of pooch par. Sabahi kahau samjhai. Tel bori pat badhi puni pavak dehu lagai. They said, a monkey is very fond of his tail. Bring all the rags in Lanka and bring all the oil in Lanka. Let us take all of it, tie the rags on his tail, and soak the tail on the rags, and let's see what happened. When Hanumanji heard this, Bachana sunat kapi mana muskana, bhaye sohaye sarda mein jana. Hanumanji started to laugh. Hanumanji says, Sarda, hey Saraswati, you have blessed them with great intelligence today. When people think, Jatu dhana suni Ravana bachana lage rache mood soy rachana. When everybody thinks that a person, you got to be careful. When you think that you're setting fire in somebody's life, that fire is going to come back and burn you. No? That fire is going to come back and burn you. You know the old saying? When you dig a hole for somebody else, you will fall in. The old people used to say that. I think they still say that. When you dig a hole for somebody else, you're going to end up falling in. When you light fire on somebody else's life, you're going to get burned. No? Hanumanji celebrated. It is said in the Ramayana, Rahana nagar basan ghrita tela bari pooch kinhe kapi khela. Not one single rag was left in Lanka, and not one single drop of ghee was left in Lanka. They took all, and as they were tying his tail was getting longer and longer and longer and longer, and everything ran out. Everything run out. This is not anybody. This is Hanumanji here, This is Hanumanji, my friends. Don't play with him, What is going to happen now? When they start beating drums and clapping their hands, they took wrong in the city. They set fire to his tail. And when Hanumanji saw the fire blazing, what is going to happen now? He saw the fire blazing. That is his father. Fire and wind, they go hand in hand. When the two of them meet, these two elements, then bad things will happen. Hanumanji Maharaj, at that moment, impelled by God, all the 49 winds began to flow. You think they are wind? There are 49 different types of winds, my friends. Hanuman roared with a laugh, and he jumped so high to touch the sky. And what happened? Bisal param haruai. Bisal param haruhai, mandir te mandir chardhai. Jarai nagar bhalog bihala, jhapat lap bahu kot karala. Tatu matu ha suniya pukara, ehi avasar ke hum I apar. Hum jo kaha yaha kapi nahi, banar rup dhare sur koi. साधु अवज्ञा कर फलु ऐसा, जर नगर अनाथ के जैस. जारा नगरो निमिष माही, एक विभीषण कर गृह नाई. अरे ठाकर दूत अलन जहि सिरजा, जरा न सोते ही कारण गिरजा. उलटी पलटी लंका सब जारी, कूदी परा पुनि सिंधु बुजारी. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. हा श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. 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 Page 78 on top, what does it tells us? Deha visal param haru ahi mandir te mandir chau dhai. The colossal size in Hanuman. He then went, my friends. And what happened to him? Everybody started to scream, Tata matu sa suniya pukara. Everybody started to scream now. Oh mother, oh father, who will save us this hour? Hanumanji is flying around now. The wind is supporting him. As I said, he is no monkey, but some god in the form of a monkey. Some god is the form of a monkey, my friends. Such is the result, Ramayana says, of despising a noble soul. This is the result of despising a noble soul. Ramayana. Sadhu avagya karaphalu aisa. This is the fruit. Karaphalu. This is the fruit you will receive. This is the fruit you will receive, my friends, when you despise a noble soul. When you set fire on someone's life, you are guaranteed to get burned, because karma does not spare anyone. Karma. Now the question is, how do you know if somebody is noble? It says here, this is the result of despising a noble soul. How do you know if somebody is noble? Let me ask you a question. Do you need to know if somebody is noble or not to be good to them? That's a question you got to ask. If you're going to be good to people, do you have to know that they are good or bad? Why not just be good to them? Why not just be kind to everyone? Whether they are noble or not noble, be good to them. This is a very beautiful lesson of Sundar Kaand here, right? And what happens? Shivji is saying, he burned down the entire Lanka, but he did not burn the home of Vibhishan and where Mata Sita was. Today, I have not gone to Lanka. I wanted to go to Lanka so bad, but it'll be a while until I go there because a lot's happening there. I heard that the place where it is burned, and I look it up, the soil, even from the fire since then, the place is black. But the part where Vibhishan's temple was for Ram Bhagwan was not burnt, and the part where Sita was not burnt. Jara nagaru nimish ek mahi ek Vibhishan kargrihanahi. He did not burn the home of Vibhishan. Mighty Hanumanji. He can burn everything, but not the home of the Lord. Ta karadut analajehi sirja. The home of God. If you truly are living in a home of God or have a home of God, God will protect that home. God will protect that home. And our beautiful, our humble Bhavani Shankar Mandir over the years, don't know how many years we've been here now. This is going to be our 10th consecutive singing of Hanumanji Chalisa for 108 times. This doesn't happen. I mentioned last night, these days I see because it falls on a Saturday, so many temples are doing Hanuman Chalisa. Very good. It's very, very good. But please know, when Hanuman Jayanti fell on a Monday, or a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, or a Thursday, or a Friday, we have always been here singing his name 108 times on Hanuman Jayanti Day. Such homes the Lord will protect. The place where good things go on. No? The ways where good things go on, the Lord will always protect. And he will not let fire take it over. He protected the home of Vibhishan. Parvati's, Bhagwan Shivji is saying to Parvati, he went, of course, and all over. He burnt the whole of Lanka from one end to the next. He jumped into the ocean and he cooled off himself. Now, what Tulsidas Ji Ramayana doesn't mention here, and what I would like to tell you, is that when he went into the ocean and he was cooling off himself, as he was cooling off himself in the ocean, beads of perspiration came out of his body. Beads of perspiration came out of his body. And there was a fish nearby. And the fish
swallow the bees of perspiration. And the bees of perspiration that this fish swallowed, she gave birth to who? Anybody? Makaradhwaja. She gave birth to a Hanuman resembling Hanumanji and close to as mighty as him. Now that's why they say Hanumanji has a son. We always usually stick to, Hanuman Janti and thing for him. When Hanumanji at one time, fast forward a little bit, when he went to Patal to bring back Ram and Lakshman, Makaradhwaja was there. Makaradhwaja was there. Hanumanji says, who are you? Makaradhwaja says, who are you? Well, Hanumanji said, you first. Makaradhwaja said, me? I am the son of the mighty Hanuman. Have you not heard about him? My father flew from the tip of Bharat to Lanka, burned Lanka into bhasma, flew back when nobody could have flew there. He flew back to Bharat. The only great selfless disciple called Rama Bhakt. My father Hanuman is the Pavanaputra, the son of the wind god. And he started to praise his father. Hanuman, he said, oh, that's true. So who are you? He says, I am the son, Makaradhwaja. And he explained the situation. Hanumanji says, Beta, listen, I need to go and rescue my Lord Ram and Lakshman here. Makaradhwaja says, Pitaji, yeah. But Makaradhwaja says, I have a job to do. I have to protect you from I protect them from you. Hanumanji says, no, I have a job to do too. I have to protect them from you. Who's going to win? Well, of course, the matchless Hanuman, the mighty Hanumanji. He just tied him up quickly. I tie him up quickly and put on a Kaand and says, you sit down there. And then that is when the Hanumanji Maharaj took Panchmukhi. There was 5 lights, 5 deepam that had to be blown out at the same time. 5 deepam that had to be blown out at the same time. Hanumanji get one mouth, so how is he going to blow 5 deepam at the same time? And that is when he called upon the other Chaturmukh form. He called upon Garuda. He called upon Hayagriva. He called upon the horse face of Bhagwan Vishnu. No. And himself was Hanumanji. I think in the book front here. No, this not get the 5 more. No. He called upon all of them. And what happened? They all blew together and the 5 lights were put out. Panchmukhi. Very powerful form of the Lord. But it is only become powerful if you appreciate what it is. Right? That's a little story about him. So as he rubbed the beads of perspiration, the fish caught him. Now what happened? Hanumanji is going to return to Mother Sita now. Because he washed out himself, he cooled off himself. What happened? Matu mohi dije kachu chinha jaise raghunayak mohi dinha churamani utari tab dayahu harash samet pavan sutlayahu kahi utat as mor pranama sab prakar pradhu puran kama दीन दयाल बिरदु संभारी हरहु नाथ मम संकट भारी कात सकृ सुत कथा सुनाये हूँ बान प्रताप प्रभु ही समुझायु मास दिवस महु नाथ नावा तो पुनि मोहि जियत नहीं पावा श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम. Page 80 at the middle part. चौ मातु मोहि दीजो कछु चीन्हा, jaise रघुनायक मोहि दीन्हा. Bhagwan Ram, now he didn't leave like that. He's going to say goodbye. He's going to say goodbye to Mother Sita. Na? You just don't pick up yourself and leave. Be pleased, mother, give me some token. Give me something. Give me something, because when I go to Ram Bhagwan, you know, I am Ramadut. I am Ram Das. He's going to ask me, Hanuman, did you meet Sita? I'm going to tell him yes. He will believe me. But Ma, I want to take something, a token, to show him that you indeed are alive and I met you. Mother Sita, Churamani utari tabadayahu harsha samet pavanasutalayahu. Churamani, she had a very particular hair slide. I don't know if you know what a hair slide is. It's called a hair clip, but a very beautiful one. Churamani. Right? That was given to Sita by Ramji, by my mother Kaushalya. And she took out the hair slide and says, give this to him. He will know that I only possess this. I only possess this. And so what happens? He went, my friend, and convey my obeisance to him, my son. Convey my obeisance to him. And grant us, you know, he recalling your vows and things like that. They talked about that. Remind him, my son, of the episode of Indra's son Jayanta. This is a beautiful story in the Ramayana, where Jayanta, the son of Raja Indra, because Hanumanji got to take proof now that Mother Sita is alive, called proof of life. Now, if Hanumanji tell them a story that where Hanumanji was involved, that wouldn't be a story. So Ma Sita says, tell him the story of Jayanta. Hanuman says, Jayanta kaun hai, Ma? You know Jayanta? Sita charan chuch ati bhari. Once Mata Sita and Ram Bhagwan were lying in the forest, and Bhagwan Ram was putting on some flowers on her hair. Only the two of them were there. And there was this bird named Jayanta. He came and he pecked the foot of Ma Sita. He started to bleed. So bad. Ramji Bhagwan took an arrow. And you know they have missiles these days. You see them all over the place. He shot the arrow to Jayanta. And wherever Jayanta went, the arrow went with him like this. They call it a smart missile, a smart arrow. Jayanta went to the heaven, the arrow went to the heaven. Jayanta went down to hell, the arrow went there. He ran all over the place, the arrow went behind him. He went to Bhagwan Brahma and said, Bhagwan Brahma, stop the arrow. He says, nah, nobody can stop that. Only Ram can stop that. Then he runs back to Bhagwan Ram and says, Prabhu, forgive me. Ramji Bhagwan says, forgive you? If I let everybody do that, you know, abuse everybody and run away with it without any punishment, then what's going to happen? And he punished Jayanta. That story only Sita and Ram knew. Only the two of them knew, right? So Hanumanji listened to the story. He says, Ma, when I go, I'm going to tell him the story, and that's how he's going to believe that you are alive. What happens now? Hanumanji Maharaj, he flew back. Skip some pages that talks about some details, but what happens now? We go to page 89. We go now, Ramji Bhagwan, Hanumanji appears now back in Lanka. He flew back over, and what happened? He goes, everybody's happy to see him. Everybody embraced him. Sugriv, the king of the army, welcomed him and brought him down. Ramji saw Hanuman. Ramji saw Hanumanji, and he felt so great about him. Let us sing this beautiful chaupai and see what Ramji does. Sunat kripa nidhi man ati bhaye puni Hanuman harishi hirya lai kahu tat kehi bhati jaan ki rahati karati raksha swapran ki नाम पारू दिवस निसी ध्यान तुम्हार कपात लोचन निज पर जंत्रितः जाहि प्राण के ही बात हे
चलत मोहि चूड़ामणि दीन्हे रघुपति हृदय लाई सोलीन नाथ जुगल लोचन भारी बचन कहे कछु जनक कुमारी अनुज समेत गहेहु प्रभु चरना दीन बंधु प्रणतारति हरना मन क्रम वचन चरण अनुरागी केहि अपराध नाथ हो त्यागी अवगुण एक मोर में माना बिछुरत प्राण न कीन पयाना नाथ सुनय नहीं को अपराधा निश्चर प्राण करही अति बाधा. Ramji Bhagwan saw Hanumanji and he embraced him. He embraced Hanumanji, Sunat Kripa Nadhi Man Ati Bhaye Puni Hanuman Harashi Hiraye. The Almighty Lord was delighted to see Hanumanji. He clasped Hanumanji one more to his bosom and he says, how is Sita? How is she passing her days in Lanka? How is she doing? Na? Hanumanji Maharaj says, Prabhu, Naam Paharu Divas Nisi Dhyana Tumar Kapat. Hanumanji says, Ramji Bhagwan, your name is protecting her. Your name is protecting her. There's a very important chaupai, doha, on page 90, on top there. Naam paharu divas nisi dhyana tumhar kapat. In sorrow, take the name of God, and in happiness, take the name of God as well. Dukh mein sumiran sab kahe, sukh mein kare na koi, jo sukh mein sumiran kahe, to dukh kahe to hoy. Yeah? Every day I'm telling you about this 9 to 5 thing, remember? If you live that 9 to 5 life, you'll be happy. No, got to work, come home, got to mow the lawn a little bit, throw back, have a good time, call over some friends. You'll have a nice time. You'll be happy. You won't have stress. But when troubles come in your life, you won't know what to do. You would know. You won't have a foundation. And that's why every child, every person, we have to focus on in life. Groom them accordingly. Groom them appropriately to embrace sorrow and happiness. How do you deal with sorrows? One of the ways of doing that is take the name of Ram. Naam paharu divas nisi dhyanu tumhara kapat. Your name, O Lord, is keeping her, is the watch over her day and night, Tulsidas says. While her continued thought of you acts as a pair of closed doors, she has her eyes glued on her own feet. Her life thus finds no outlet whereby to escape. You're so glued to the Lord, your mind cannot escape, your thought cannot escape, your life cannot escape when you're focused on God like that. Chalata mohi churamani dinhe. She gave me this token to give you, Prabhu. And from her top of her head, when Ram Bhagwan looked at it, Are bhai, what happened? Naat jugalalocan bharibari bachana kahe kachu janaka kumari. Tears, of course, fell from his eyes because he knew that hair slide or that hair clip belongs to Sita. The Lord, Anuja samet gahe prabhu charana deena bandhu pranatarani harana. And he says, embrace the feet of my Lord and his younger brother. This was the message. He is bringing and carrying message, He is the messenger. But only Ram's message does he carry, God's message. Nobody else's message. Embrace the feet of my Lord and his younger brother, and so on. I do admit one fault of mine, that my life did not depart the moment I was separated from you. This is the message Sita gave to him. My Lord, however, my Lord, is the fault of my eyes, which forcibly prevent my life from escaping. And so he gave him the message of Sita Ma's pain. The message of Sita Ma's pain. Then when Hanumanji gave him this beautiful message, the last set of chaupais we'll chant for tonight is from page 94.
from page 94 of Sundar Kaand. This is important. Ramji Bhagwan recognizes that there has never been anyone who has served him like Hanuman, or who has done anything for him like Hanuman. So what does he do? He showers on him now what we would do for anyone who has done something to us, or for us, sorry.
सुनो कपितो ही समान उपकारी, सुन कपितो ही समान उपकारी, नहीं कोई सुर नर मुनि तनुधारी। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। प्रति उपकार करो का तोरा, प्रति उपकार करो का तोरा, सन्मुख होई न संकट मन मोरा। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सुन सुत तो ही अरिन मैं नाही, सुन सुत तोरी अरिन मैं नाही, देख करी विचार मन माही। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम। पुनि पुनि कपि चितव सुर त्राता, लोचन नीर पुलक अति गाता। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सुनि कपि मोहि सोहि कपि तोहि समान उपकारी, पेज 94, चौपाई the middle. सुनि कपितो ही समान उपकारी, उपकार. Bhagwan Ram says, Hanuman, no one in this world, no God, no demon, no dev, nobody has ever done what you have done for me. This is very moving. You can understand that when one person is telling that to another person, right? A friend does that for another friend, a mother does that for a child, whatever it is. You can understand that. But when Bhagwan is telling Hanuman that Hanuman, no one endowed with a body, no one who has had a body, no God, no human, nobody, no sage has ever done such an obligation for me. Oh Hanuman, as you have done. That means a lot, my friends. That means a lot. This Hanuman is not a king. You never hear Hanumanji called a king of Lanka or king of Ayodhya or king of Kiskinda, king of anywhere. Whole Ramayana call him monkey. Whole Ramayana, Hanumanji call him a fool. Ravana call him a fool. Ravana call him a wretch. Ravana call him, I don't know, so many names. For a devotee or servant of God, there was not enough names to call you, including bad ones. Ravana asked him, you wretch, you fool, you, what do you call you, madman? There was not enough name to give a disciple of God. You got to take it. You have to take it. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't take it when you go to bed, that's a whole different thing. Because you'll lose sleep over it. Just take it. Relax. Because Hanumanji was called all the names. He is called all the names. This is the reward from him. God is praising him. We have heard about the Bhakta praising the Bhagwan. But here the Bhagwan is praising the Bhakta. Bhagwan is praising the Bhakta. Itni ajeeb hai. And you know what's amazing? A devotee will go to God and say, God, how can I repay the debts of my life? But Bhagwan Ram is saying, Sanamukha hoina sankatamana mora. How, O Hanumanji, can I repay the debts
that I owe you? How can I repay you for these obligations? This is the word of Bhagwan Ram. Very important. You have the book now. You can mark these pages and remind yourself how great a devotee of God is. Na? Suno sutato hi arinmay nahi dekhi karat vichara man mahi. Listen, my son. He called the monkey a son now. Listen, my son. I have thought over it and concluded that the debt which I owe you, this is Ram is saying to Hanuman, the debt which I owe you cannot be repaid. Again and again, Ramji Bhagwan gazed Hanumanji, and with tears, from his eyes, tears. You have heard a devotee bathing the Lord. Here the Lord is bathing Hanumanji with his tears. Everything done upside down here now. Everything reverse. Lord is bathing his disciple. As Hanumanji listened to the words of his Lord, what happened? When someone praised you up a little bit, it is only natural. It happened to everybody. It happened to me too. Everybody is happened to. Somebody praise you up a little bit, naturally you're going to feel good about it. It may, if you're not careful, it may allow an ego to grow in you. That's not your problem. That is how people are wired. That's how people are wired. I'm telling you, it has happened to every single person. You throw little praises on them, they will grow. If they grow in the right direction, it's good. If they grow in the wrong direction, it's a whole nother thing. But you got to tell you, this is how we are wired. We are not yet, and we will take many lifetimes. Many lifetimes, remember, we were a scorpion. We have taken 8,400,000 births to get this one here. Because there was so much poison in us, the Lord made us a snake, a naga. Get rid of the poison. Bite. Get rid of the poison. And when that was not enough, we were a scorpion and we were a frog. And get rid of the poison. He has allowed those birds. Take those birds and get rid of the poison. Poison done? Good. Then whatever. We love to bark and bite. So we were a dog once, no? We bark enough, bark. All you want to bark, bark. Bark. But when you become a wolf, you're not going to bark anymore. Understand? You become a wolf. Now what are you going to do? You're going to howl or owl. Howl? Owl or whatever they call it. Howl. You almost sung Creole, howl. Anyway. You howl. You can't bark anymore. You're a dog. You finish. When you're done become a howl, what happened now? You move on. The Lord is saying, bite, get rid of your poison, all whatever you can, because when you become a human being, you can't do that anymore. There is no poison for you. There's no barking coming from you anymore. All that is done. You're a human being. You are the highest form of creation. Bare bhagya manushya tanapava sur durlabh sab granta hi gava. There is no other creation on this earth as high as the human being. No other. But what is considered high? What is considered high? Because you're taller than a dog? Or you're bigger than an earthworm? An earthworm stays in the earth, right? Eats, procreates, sleep, right? That's what they do. They live life. And they're happy about it. A human being is blessed with the most complex machine, this body. If we're going to eat, sleep, procreate, and rewind again, are we any better than that earthworm? As a matter of fact, he's doing it with less stress. Look at the dogs. Have you ever seen an unhappy dog? You think dogs get heart attack? Dogs don't get heart attack. They don't care when it's Monday. They don't care when it's Tuesday. They live life. Right? So are we really any higher than those that we say we are higher than? So it's a good question. In our tradition, we are higher when we act with the intelligence that God has blessed us with. I'm not talking about certificate intelligence. I'm talking about common sense intelligence. No? So no prabhi bachu vilokhi muk. We are wired like that. And we are going to take many more births to get rid of that ability to not grow an ego when somebody praises us. I'm telling you, it happens everybody. Every single body. And it's not your fault. Please don't think Panaji is telling you a bad thing. It's not your fault. This is how we are made. Every human being is made like this. Our ability, though, to work on it is a whole different thing. Sunil Prabhu, how would Hanumanji react when the Lord is just bathing him with praise, showering him with praise? When Hanumanji listened to the words of his Lord, Prabhu ke vachan sunkar aur unke prasann mukta tha, पुलकित अंगों के देखकर हनुमान जी ने हर्षित हो गए और प्रेम से विकल होकर हे भगवान मेरी रक्षा करो कहते हुए श्री राम जी के चरणों गर पे. Hanuman ji started to cry, harshit pulkit, the hair stand up in his body, and he says, Ram ji, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo. Why would he ask the Lord, Prabhu? He was all overwhelmed with love and he says, save me, save me, save me. What is he asking to save me from? Ramcharitmanas ne kaha tha ki, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo. Save me, O Lord, from the gallows of egoism. That is what is written here. Save me from that, the tentacles of egoism. Because praises do exactly that to us. It makes us feel we are somebody that we are not. When I was younger, people always will say this, that, you read a little satsanga, you do a little katha and thing, you do good, right? You read good. That's technically what people will say. There's nothing wrong with that. In the field that we're in, people do a lot of great work in this world, in this community. They are not that visible, right? What we do is very visible. And because of that, we're under very watchful eyes. But never ever somebody come tell you, you do good. The question always asks, like, what is this good? Right? What is this good? You read good, you sing good. The good will be done when it would make a difference in somebody's lives. That is when the good is really done. When I speak, or anybody speak, or sing or something, and it can inspire you, that is when the good is done. Bar baraba pauchaura utara prema maganate hi athau na bhava, praise 96. Again and again the Lord sought to raise him up, but he will not raise up. He was lost in love, as Tulsidas ji says. The lotus hands of the Lord rested on his head. The Lord rested his hands on his head, and he was overcome with emotion. And what happened? He recovered himself. The Lord lifted him up, and what happened? Embraced him. He took him by the hand and seated him very close to him. Tell me, O Hanuman, how could you burn Ravana's Lanka? And he's just praising him again here. Hanumanji says, you got to be careful. Sakha mriga ke bari manusai, sakha te sakha parajai. He said, Prabhu, how you're asking me how I burn Lanka? A monkey, virtue is to spring from one place to the next. Prabhu, all it did, they lit fire in my tail, and I jumped from here to there, and that's how the place was burned down. If you ask somebody else that, they'll tell you how smart they are. If it wasn't my intelligence and my negotiating skills, I wouldn't be able to do it. Bhai, just say you do the thing and done. Hanuman just said, Prabhu, they just light fire in my tail. I jump from here to there, place burned down. Done. That's exactly what he said. Sakha mrika ke bari manusai. It is no great deal for a monkey hopping from one place to another. All that I did was hopping here, there, and that's how Lanka was burned down. The mark of a humble person is many things, but it's how they speak. But Prabhu, say so sabatapa pratap raghurai nat nakachu mori prabhutai. Prabhu, it was all because of your grace. No credit, my Lord, is due to me for the same. I think you almost highlight this. Page 98, right on top. It was all due to your grace, my Lord. No credit is due to me. Nothing is unattainable, my Lord. Nothing is unattainable, my Lord, to him who enjoys your grace. It is by your grace that all is happening. To him, and through your grace, a mere shred of cotton can surely burn an entire ocean. No? Impossible can be made possible. Therefore, be pleased, my Lord, to grant me undying devotion. Hanumanji is asking for something now. I never heard this before. Please grant me undying devotion, which is the source of supreme bliss, Prabhu. Nata bhagati at sukadayani, deha kripa kare anupayani. Here he is, standing closest to Bhagwan Ram. So close to Lord Ram, you could ask him for palace, for wealth, elephant, gold, pearl, diamond, and all he asked for, Prabhu, please bless me with undying devotion, which is the source of supreme bliss. Dehu kripa kari anapayani. And what happened? When he heard his most artless speech, he said, Tathastu, be it so, be it so. And he blessed Hanumanji Maharaj. Bole Pawan Sut Hanuman ki jai, Siyavaj Ramachandra ki jai. We'll pause here tonight and we'll continue tomorrow. I want to thank all of you for joining and for being part of this beautiful Sundar Kaand. And I encourage you to keep listening, keep praying, keep singing, because Sundar Kaand will bring you a tremendous amount of joys in your life. My friends, I'm going to sing a bhajan now. And after this, whoever is here have prasad. You can offer your prasad. But I want to remind all of you that Saturday we have our Hanumanji Chalisa. Chanting 108 Hanumanji Chalisa. We're chanting here at the temple from 9:30 in the morning. Puja will start in the morning at 7 a.m. Puja will finish about 9 a.m. We take a little break. We sit down and we start singing Hanumanji Chalisa at 9:30, and we will finish when we finish. Usually 4 or 5, somewhere there. We'll finish. We want you all to sponsor all the Chalisas. Please go online, bhavanishankarmandir.com/Hanuman. You can click if you're going to be here. We want to know. If you're not going to be here, everything is there. We are not sending over any greetings, so please do not put any greeting dedicated to who and who and who. Just put your first name and last name, and that is what we will offer to Hanumanji. Your name is what matters. Right? Sponsor it out all. Tonight all must go, please. And let us just relax and enjoy Hanuman Jayanti coming up on Saturday. We're inviting all of you to come spend the day with us. After we finish chanting Hanumanji Chalisa, go home, change out, come back for satsang in the evening, 7 o'clock. We're going to enjoy the long weekend with a beautiful long day to Hanumanji. The Lord has given you a long weekend. What are you going to do this long weekend? Give some to Him, because He of course needs to energize us. Bole Pawan Sut Hanuman ki jai. Now, prasad, we can do Hanumanji prasad. Anybody who has prasad or flowers or so to offer, or if you just want to come in front of Hanumanji and take his darshan, clasp your hand, you can do that as well. Bolo sada jaykar Pavan Sut Mahabali ki. Bolo sada jaykar Pavan Sut Mahabali ki. बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की. बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की. बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की. बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की.
केसरी नंदन बलिधारी की, केसरी नंदन बलिधारी की, मारुति नंदन उपकारी की,
मारुति नंदन उपकारी की,
और करे सेवा हाथ पवन सुत महाबली की। बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की। अपने कपीश को मन में बसाए, अपने कपीश को
मन में बसा के,
उपकार पूजन दर पे आए,
कर पूजन घर पे आके,
और शरण सुबह शाम पवन सुत महाबली की, और शरण सुबह शाम पवन सुत महाबली की। बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की।
बोलो सदा जयकार पवन सुत महाबली की,
पवन सुत महाबली की,
पवन सुत महाबली की।
बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय हो। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। दो आरती नाउ। ओम यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्तु प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे।
आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। जाके बन से गिरिवर कापे, रोग दोष जाके निकलते न जाके। अंजनी पुत्र महाबलदाई, संतन के प्रभु सदा सहाय। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला। देवी रघुनाथ बताए, लंका जारी सिया सुधलाए। मंद सुकोटि समुद्र सिखाए, जात पवन सुत बारन लाए। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ
कला के।
लंका जारे असुर संहारे, सिया राम जी के काज सवारे। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित परे सखारे, हानि सजीवन प्राण उबारे। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दमन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान
शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिविरध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनां, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो गणपति भगवान की, सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, श्री महालक्ष्मी माता की, जगदम्बिका माता की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, नवदुर्गा माता की, भवानी शंकर भगवान की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, नवग्रह देवता की, गुरु महाराज की। बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की, बजरंगबली भगवान की, सियावर रामचंद्र की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की। सबको ये जय जय सीताराम। Please take arti before you leave, and prasad will be given at the door. Shubhratri everyone. See you tomorrow evening.